And how are you now? I'm Dylan Black. This is Daytime Ottawa, Rogers Television. Good to have you here. Hey, if you're thinking about traveling anytime soon, it is a very important thing to check in with a pharmacist first. Let's say hello to a pharmacist. He also owns the pharmacy of Green Street in Barrhaven. Randy Little is with us. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, busy job. I guess people have a lot of questions sometimes.
They do, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so why is it so important to see a pharmacist before you head off anywhere traveling?
Well, certainly planning for your health while you travel is just as important as planning your trip itinerary. And one of the big messages we have for patients is well in advance of their trip, they should speak with their pharmacist about what vaccines might be required before they travel. Not just regular vaccines. We're coming up to flu shot season right now, so that's a good example. Important to get your flu shot before you travel, but also there might be numerous specific vaccines required based on your destination.
Of course. And for kids as well?
Certainly, for kids as well. Often children, vaccine preventable conditions can be more severe in children often, so making sure that they're up to date on their vaccines and any special travel vaccines is really critical too as well.
Okay, so not only vaccines, but why other reasons why we should come see you first?
Perfect. Certainly, patients that are on numerous prescription medications should speak with their pharmacist, book an appointment for what we call a medication review. The pharmacist will sit down with you, go through your medications, prepare any information that you might require. Sometimes travel through customs in certain countries can require information related to your prescriptions. And importantly, the pharmacist can also ensure that you have enough medication for the duration of your trip, plus a bit extra in case you get delayed. And even for patients that are on multiple medications, often pharmacists can even package medication in one of these, what we call compliance packs. So it just kind of helps package everything up, makes it more convenient for you to take for travel.
Much easier. Okay, so what about a health checklist? I mean, is that something obviously that people should and then how do you tailor it to your specific needs? Where do you get these checklists?
Exactly. Well, right now, actually, if patients go to pharmasave.com, we've created a free downloadable PDF travel health checklist they can print off. While they're there, they can actually take a moment and enter a contest to win $1,000 in cash. Makes for some nice spending money on the trip.
Yeah.
But certainly, the specifics about what items are most critical for your travel health checklist, again, it's tailored to the patient if you speak with your pharmacist and your destination. Obviously, there are numerous items that are very commonly included: pain relievers, anti-nauseant medication, anti-diarrheal medication, the most common ailments. Beyond that, there's a lot of specifics based on where you're going.
So much fun stuff, the anti-nausea and everything. I mean, but it's important, obviously, that you bring this.
It is, certainly. And even as opposed to years ago, patients might be familiar with only certain remedies, but if we use anti-nauseant treatments as an example, there's now a variety of things. And we have some of the products on display over here.
Okay.
You've got traditional Gravol, but there's also for patients that are looking for a more natural remedy, there's the natural Gravol, the ginger product. And even for patients that are looking for a non-drug related treatment, we have now the C-bands, which are actually a band that works on the basis of an acupressure point for a non-drug related treatment for nausea.
Okay, and how well does that work, the C-band?
Quite well, actually.
Yeah.
We have a lot of patients that do have success with it. Again, for those patients that are seeking a non-drug related remedy, it's certainly an option.
Okay, we'll get you to hold up the C-band. So for those who maybe don't know what a C-band is exactly, okay, that's interesting. And how long has that been on the product been out for?
This has actually been out for a number of years.
Okay, all right, C-band, that's new with me. What about these fancy socks you got there? Now that's not just stylish, that's also, it helps you out.
It certainly does. Most patients aren't aware that on long flights, while we're seated for prolonged periods of time, our circulation or blood can pool, and it contributes to the incidence of blood clots. So these stockings, as the name compression stockings implies, it just kind of exerts a mild amount of pressure to re-stimulate that circulation and help decrease your risk of experiencing those blood clots. Very important on long flights.
Okay. Can you tell us about some more medication must-knows? Because I'm sure there's all kinds of things that people come up against that they probably wish they would have consulted you first about.
Exactly. I think certainly with most of the options that are out there, the common things that patients want to be prepared for are, according to travel health statistics, the two most common illnesses when patients travel are respiratory illnesses and diarrhea. So a lot of patients are aware to take an anti-diarrhea medication, such as we have displayed here, but certainly some other items like rehydration salts. It's very important with suffering with diarrhea, of course, to rehydrate. So these are just an example. You can have some dry powder packet forms, some liquid forms. Again, speak to your pharmacist so they can tailor those over-the-counter remedies that you might need, but also any specifics related to your particular prescription medications.
Okay. Say I was going to Australia, pretty long trip. and I came in to see you. So what are some must-haves for traveling long distances?
Certainly for long distance travel, what you want to be aware of is general recommendations. Certainly making sure that whatever you're taking in terms of a travel health kit as well as your prescription medications, obviously you want to make sure that those are in your carry-on luggage and not in your checked baggage, certainly so that they arrive with you at your destination.
Yeah.
Common issue for patients. But another factor, I think, in terms of long-term trip planning, again, what comes to mind for Australia, you're dealing with a lot more risk of some unusual insect stings and bites that might expose you to risk. So for first thing that pops to mind for a patient traveling there is it makes proper insect repellent and prevention of bug bites and stings a very key item. So a pharmacist sitting down with you will be able to tailor some of those recommendations for those products.
So can I ask, though, because of traveling restrictions and all that, wouldn't it be better to just buy these products when you're down there, if that is the case, if you need for bug bites or?
Certainly what we advise is that, you know, as we say, travel health is an area where an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You're not sure in a lot of destinations as to what your immediate access will be to many of these preparations, and patients aren't aware that numerous products aren't always available in all different countries. So again, planning ahead just takes away that worry and ease of access as well. If you have it with you, it's just much more high percentage that you're going to actually utilize the product for prevention.
Okay, just over 30 seconds left here. And what happens if you get sick down there?
Certainly what we advise is that seeking medical attention, oftentimes if you're on a resort or a cruise ship, there's often medical personnel on staff on those properties. And for even the properties, so you want to see some administrator about accessing medical care immediately if you need it. But usually, even if there's not an in-house medical staff person, they often have arrangements with local staff that you can seek them out and they can make arrangements for you to get medical care.
All right.
You might, in certain countries, be responsible for your own transportation to those areas.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Pharmasave.com, Randy Little. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
More Daytime coming up on Rogers TV.